there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about in terms of qiyi's new clock. Uh, so every, well, it seems like every year now, if they've only done it twice, they release a new limited edition clock. So, was it last year they did this Chinese New Year limited edition clock? Um, and it was a really nice colors. I'll throw up a picture of it, where it had this off yellow and red, which looked very nice. It was very well thought out. It felt a lot better than what it was basically a different color scheme compared to a different clock, um, which they also released, which was a black and white version. And I feel like it felt a lot better out of the box compared to that. It had a lot stronger magnets, and it just had a better turning feel. There was also something with the center magnets, which I believe they changed up a little bit, but to help like corner cutting and whatnot. But I don't find that I really notice a difference in terms of that. And then this year they released 3. A blue one, which you might be able to see inside of the video. Also, the one that I'm using right now inside of the B-roll video is the Chinese New Year limited edition clock. And then they released a blue one, blue and white, which I quite like, although I kind of just felt like a regular clock. And a lilac one, which I have not tried. Which also I quite like a lot better because it actually does look like a lilac flower. Anyway, where am I going with this? So, the first time they did it, it got fairly popular. Like now, wherever you go, you'll see people using that red clock because of just how much of an upgrade it was. It didn't seem like a lot, but it was a fair amount of an upgrade compared to what they regularly had. And so, when they released 3 this year, it was kind of like, ooh, okay, it seems more of like a cash grab rather than another limited edition clock. And then, yeah, so now the third one that I'm looking at right here, I have an image pulled up, I'll throw it up on the screen, is a clear one, which you can already make yourself. You can already make clear clocks yourself. But on top of that, do you see the little ticks for like each hour on the clock face? I sure didn't. I had to look at it for a few minutes to find them, which is really, really, like you can obviously see the 12 o'clock one, but the hourly ones you can't see, which would be very, very hard for any sort of memorization method, because you wouldn't be able to count the ticks. So and seeming that 7 simul is the most popular method currently. Oh, I'd say second most popular, because regular flip kind of outweighs it, but still, very popular method, especially for speed cubing, if you're serious about it. So, which is a memorization method. You have to memorize 5 different ticks, which is very interesting why they did this. So it makes it harder to solve. And it is the same price, or like around $60 Canadian, which was around the same price as last year. I don't remember what the last year one was, but around the same price. But if it's just the same, because I haven't seen anything with it being like last year's where they changed up the center magnets a little bit. I haven't seen anything about that, which is kind of interesting. And then the final one, which is that there's only 1,800 being made, and as of now, after like a week, or well, it hasn't really been a week yet, like 5 or 4 days, what they have it on Speed Cube Shop, they haven't even sold out of those 1,800 pieces. So obviously, it's not really that popular. Also, one other thing I want to talk about is that it's not changed on either side. Like they don't even have like maybe a red tint with a white circular face, or anything like that. It's just all the same color, which is quite boring, and it's like making a force cube and marketing it as a brand new cube. It doesn't. I find it quite boring. It's every single clock has had those opposite faces, and that's just a me thing. But it's like I don't really like it. But what I do like is I like the little green knobs. It kind of reminds me of, like, you know, those light up Lego pieces that you can buy. And it looks more of a toy, but it's still, overall, like, on first glance, it doesn't look that bad. But I can imagine being really hard to solve, and, like, yeah, just really hard to solve. And it's supposed to be a symbol of the Chinese knot, which they have, I'll put a synopsis of it in the description or whatever. Also, a link to a post that qiyi made for it. And also, one funny thing I'm looking at the post right now, that I just noticed, is that they have a base stand, which is a transparent base stand, display stand, or whatever, which makes you think that's a limited edition thing, but it's like every single clock has had it, so that's interesting. Also, one thing I'm noticing now is at the back, the ring around the clock is clear on the other side, which I guess is different, but it's like, it's not that big of a difference. I still don't like it. Yeah, blah blah blah, whatever they're saying. Yeah, I probably won't be getting one. If you have one, show it off. Yeah. It looks more of a cash grab rather than an actual meaningful way to make a new puzzle. I'd love for them to make a V2 of their original qiyi clock. If they did that, I'd buy 10 of them. Because the first one is so good, and if it's an actual step up, I'd much rather that than limited edition clocks. So, yeah. I guess that's all I have to rant about today. I don't know how long this will actually be. I can't see the timer on the camera. But, yeah, a little bit of a different style. If you like it, tell me. If you don't, tell me. Leave a like down below. Subscribe. Do whatever. And have a nice day.